Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be breaking down the 1-4 formation, and I'm just real quick, I'm going to flash up onto the screen all of the playbooks that are going to be able to run this defense. Uh, you will see a lot of people are either in the Vikings or in the Patriots. I personally run the Patriots, and I like it because of the 6-1 formation they have. So they also have they have cover 2 out of 6-1, which just makes your life easier when it comes to setting it up. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the dime 1-4. So dime 1-4, the base pressure out of this and kind of the base play of this whole playbook, or excuse me, of this whole formation, is none other than cross 3 fire. So when it comes to running this, I like to put auto flip off, and the main reason for that is I'm just going to show you guys, but when you flip this play, it kind of, there is a tell. So one of the safeties, or excuse me, one of the slot corners is walked down a little bit more, but the non-flip version, so this version here, the linebacker on the right that's looping, he's going to come in more consistently, versus when I flip it, that linebacker on the left is going to come in more consistently. So you can kind of mix it up how your opponent is doing it. I personally like to come out in a cover 4 shell as well, so flick that right stick to the left or to the right, and then I will oftentimes do a cover 4. And it also depends on what formation your opponent's coming out in. So you can leave it default, and you can also put it on cover 4 or cover 6. But I personally, most of the time, I'm either on default or I'm on cover 4. And then when it comes to our coaching adjustments, other than auto flip, so auto flip is off, and then we're going to show you a little bit later. But I like putting all of these on conservative personally, and we're going to specifically talk about the RPO pass keys a little bit later. So conservative here, and then also if you don't want to run max, then put these hooks on 5. Actually gets them to play something. And then I like putting my safety depth on close and then my safety width on pinch. So then we're going to come out and we're going to call cross 3 fire. And I will say this play is not the most consistent play. It's not the most consistent pressure, but you're only sending 4. And this is kind of just the base pressure. It puts your opponent on a timer. Sometimes it'll come in super fast, but most of the time it's going to at least give you a one-on-one over the middle. So generally, the faster, more agile this guy is, like if you have a lot of coins in Mutt, Troy Polamalu is a really good person to have right here as a looper. But other than that, you can literally just run this play just like this. And this is versus empty protection. And as you can see, we get a one-on-one, and he's able to beat that center. But a lot of times, too, if you QB contain, he will also still come in free. So this time, we're not getting the pressure. But you guys are seeing, like, it puts your opponent on a timer. So let's see if we can get it at least one time. There we go. We get it one time there. So that is kind of the base pressure of this. And I will say empty protection does a really, really good job of picking this up. So when you come out in any play that automatically sends 5 out, is going to be empty protection. So that's what this is. And as you can see, these guys, they're not man-to-man on anybody. They're kind of just going to pick up whoever comes to them. So that's what empty protection is. But base protection will also be pretty common. And that's a more man type of look. So when I go ahead and I snap this one here, this is base protection, we're going to see it kind of opens up a lot more and it ends up being a one-on-one on the left guard. But that's going to be the base pressure of it all. But additionally, you're going to have to, if you want to run this defense, you have to get good with your quick adjustments. Because this is the only play that you can really loop from. There's a couple more, and I'll show you that after this one. But the first one, like I'm saying, this is the only play that has this crossfire loop. So you're going to have to be able to get really quick with your quick adjustments. So you see, I just created a cover 3 cloud, and you just have to be able to do that. And then sometimes you're gonna want to be able to do that cover 4 and do that exact same thing here. So just get quick with your quick adjustments. Everybody on the field, other than the person you're using, is going to be just YY or triangle if you're on PlayStation to do these quick adjustments. So get familiar with what all of these are, and you should be in good shape. So you can cloud this same type of thing to the left, and you see, like, I've been doing this a while, so mine are pretty quick, but I just want you to get like quick with it. So even if your opponent is quick snapping you, you should be able to adjust every safety on the field, or excuse me, every DB on the field. And then the next pressure that I want to talk about is basically you can also create a loop by moving one of these guys. So all you have to do really is pick any play that has that stock linebacker blitzing. So you see Tampa 2 has it, 2-man or cover 2 man has it. And those are the main 2 plays that I would run it out of. So if I go ahead and pick Tampa 2, and then once again we're just going to do an empty protection, all I have to do is move this guy here, and then when I snap this ball, it's not going to be every time, but quite often he's going to be running through. So I think this one's a little bit more consistent than the other one, but additionally, it's harder because you have to move somebody pre-snap. So that gets super annoying. But as you can see, this one is like screaming it. This one is flying through every single time. And you can also flip this one. So I'm just gonna move this guy here this time and do the same thing. And you see he gets picked up that time. But it's a good pressure. Like, and once again, we're only sitting forward. We're not selling out to send this pressure. Like, we're just moving this guy over. We're snapping the ball, and he's just running through. And then the next pressure that we're going to talk about is going to be out of the overload 3 seam. So strong eagle slant 3 and overload 3 seam, they look super similar. And honestly, they have the exact same coverage distribution. But the blitz angle that this linebacker is in on the left side, so that guy who's blitzing, it doesn't work super well with this blitz. So make sure you're choosing overload 3 seam. That's the one I like to keep in my audibles. And then we're just going to simply choose left exit 2-man. And then on offense, I'm going to choose an empty formation or empty protection formation, and you can literally just run this play just like that. So left exit 2-man, and then that play that I showed you guys. And when we snap this, we're gonna see that one of these guys is coming in. So we're getting an overload on the left side of the formation, and once again, it's not gonna be the fastest blitz, but we're not sending the house. So this looks like an actual well executed, like real life type of play. So we see our D tackle here, he ends up shedding. So our corner gets picked up, but he ends up making the tackle. And you see, it's just a numbers game. It's quite literally just a numbers game. So keep that in mind when you're running this play. So left exit 2-man is the play there. And then the only other thing that I want to talk about with this play is sometimes this guy will walk down and you can leave him. He'll come in way faster. But also, you can zone out this right guy. So once again, this is just a 4-man pressure. And just get creative with your coverage shells. Don't run the same type of play every single play. And like I said, here we're only sending 4. And when I snap this ball, you see we're still going to get good pressure. That time, Travis Hunter is able to shoot through the gap. So left exit 2-man, play overload 3 seam, and you see the pressure ends up coming in. And then once your opponent starts sliding left a lot, what you're going to be able to do, so I want you to pick basically any play that has this right corner blitzing. You can also do it stock yourself. And then on the left side, we're just going to run the Tex 2-man. So if you don't know, Tex is kind of the best stunt. And then we're going to run that. And then, like I said, they're going to be sliding left a lot. And what does sliding left do? It will open up some games for us to play on this right side of the formation. So if we're sliding left a lot and you pick up on that, instead of sending these guys, you can zone this guy out. So once again, you're still sending 4, but now we're overloading that right side with the exact same look pre-snap. So I recommend not really moving your user too much, and your opponent has literally no way to tell which side you're sending pressure from. And you can also just run this, and like I said, we pick Tex. So in this case, we're just gonna get those Texas stunts on the left, but that's the main pressure portion of the defense. And then when it comes to stopping the run, I really like cross 3 fire. So basically any shotgun run. So if I go ahead and I choose something like inside zone, imagine I really like using this guy because this looper, he does a really good job of stopping inside zone. But if we just hover out here, and if you use the tip that I showed you guys yesterday, all I have to do here, snap this ball, and I'm running straight down. So you want to be on the opposite side of the running back, bring up that sub menu like I showed you guys yesterday, and right now I'm just holding right trigger and left stick down. So if you're not familiar with this tip, go watch my video from yesterday. But we literally just snap this ball, and we're able to basically shoot any runs. And then lastly, when it comes to RPO defense, this is why it's important to have this RPO pass key on conservative is. So I would just say get super familiar with what formations are popular for RPOs. Like gun bunch tight end, they're going to be running a lot of RPOs. But the easiest way to stop this is I would say don't compromise your coverage. So obviously, I'm manning this guy up here. So when I would do something like this, I would likely put a deep middle here. So we still have a typical cover 3. And you can kind of zone out, do whatever else you want. But I like having my looper on the right, or on the same side as the running back, because he will do a good job of stopping that inside zone. And then similarly here, I want to stand right here, and I'm bringing up my play call menu. And then when they snap this ball, we're going to see my safety is out there. So this is not a throw. This is not a throw your opponent would want to live with. So that's that. And if they're really spamming it, make sure you walk these guys down. And you can even at times man this guy up. We got 3 over 3 on this side. And then we're just going to see when I snap this ball here, we're there. But basically, there's no defense that stops everything. And you're going to have to play the cat and mouse game. You're going to have to just pick up on your opponent's tendencies. And the easiest way is I really just like manning up that safety, walking them down a little bit, and moving these guys down if you have time. But that's going to be the main RPO defense. I show you guys how to stop the run. I show you guys how to generate pressure. That's going to be it for this one. And I also show you guys how to stop those RPOs. So that's not a throw you want to live with at all. But that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one.